How's it going, everyone? I am in Cornwall, definitely not Shetland. Have you seen how much greenery is here? I'm actually down at Matt Coombs, but he's a really good mate, and we're going to be spearfishing and hunting this week, and on the weekend we've got a big spearfishing comp. But at the minute me and Meg are gearing up with the green because we're going, not cannabis, getting their gear on because we're going to go and do some stalking, and fingers crossed there's some red deer here. I've been out here before. I think I went out with Matt's friend this time, but yeah, I'm so excited. The rut is kind of starting down here for red deer, and just to be in amongst it around that time is going to be pretty exciting, so I can't wait. We've also got some helpers to help us carry it all out. Get a helpers. Let's get out there. So we're just at the ground where we're gonna do a bit of stalking. We've seen one red stag already, but in the ground where we're not allowed to shoot, but that's where they come from, and then they come out to the fields to feed. So we're just getting geared up, and we're going to do some stalking, and fingers crossed we can see something. We do have a few nights, so I'm excited. We start making our way down the hedgerows. Now we're taking our time and we're glassing every little nook and cranny because it's a small sized bit of land we're hunting, and you never know what could be around the corner. It doesn't take long before we spot a lovely pair of roe deer out feeding in the field. Things are starting to come alive as the evening starts cooling down and the sun goes down as well. Eventually we come across our first red deer in the grounds, and it's a pair of hinds, looks to be an older female with a younger calf, and they're just popping their heads up above this hill. They definitely know we're here because they start yipping away. Unfortunately there is no monster stag with them. It's still amazing to see. This is my first red stag stalking, and getting amongst the red deer is super fun. The reason for setting the camera up is this means Paul can now see what's going on in this area, whether you've got some big monsters coming in, just herds of hinds. This is a really good tool for managing the deer. We carry on stalking around the hedgerows, but the light is slowly fading. We bump into those two hinds again, but unfortunately no stag with them. This is where they've been coming in and out. On our way back to the truck, we ended up going through a new field, and what we didn't realise is we spooked 3 roe deer. Now they started running crazy around this field. They knew something was up, but they could not tell where this thing was coming from, and we were all just standing there. It could have just been our camo and the low light, but they had no idea where we are. Thankfully I managed to get some cool footage of the main buck running about the field. He's got a really grey face on him, so he's looking a bit old, but he has a lovely head on him. Really nice to see a buck and does out there. With the shooting light coming to its last legs and looking like there's no stag tonight, we give a good old call a go and to see if we get any replies. So we can get them fired up to see if anything's out there to give us an idea for the next couple days stalking. Unfortunately, we have no replies. This just could mean that they're not fired up, the rut's really early. It could be the warm weather which is causing this, we don't know. We decided to give a quick look through the thermal imaging just to see what is out there. and with a few bright lights just in amongst the bush, it means there is a few deer out there. Unfortunately, just not the ones we're going to get tonight. It's been an amazing evening straight down the road and to Cornwall and out stalking. I've absolutely loved it, but on to the next day. So we're back at it. We've had to ditch the tent or put everything away, put the pickup tent away, and we're off to go deer stalking again. We're meeting up with Paul, awesome dude, and great hunting with him. First things first, we have to go around all these crazy Cornwall lanes, which are pretty fun in the old Hilux. So we changed location. The last place we were, all the fields have been cut the last 2 days. So we've moved basically to the other side, which is the same sort of thing around the reserve, but the fields haven't been cut. So we're going to give this a go, stalk some hedge lines, pretty big hedge lines, and fingers crossed we get into something. But it's a pretty beautiful evening. Well, we're back at it. We're stalking those big thick hedgerows, and we're going through that long grass fields in the hope of a nice big red stag. We make our way to some open fields in the hope of seeing something coming out the woods as it's getting to that time of the night. What we do come across is a big herd of red hinds, and they're just starting to drip feed and they're coming out the woods, and I just see that one spot they keep walking out and envision in my head a nice big stag. So I keep my eye on it, but Paul is somewhere else. So we've got a group of deer over there. There's a young bricket with a whole load of females. He shouldn't be covering all of them, he's too young, so it's probably his mum in there. She's not pushed him away yet, but we've just come across another group of hinds in a field over there. I think Paul's just seen a stag, so I'm going to go over and see what he's on about. Paul has spotted a small group of deer just on the other side of this hedge. Now you've got maybe 2 to 3 hinds and a stag. This is the sort of behaviour we're looking for, maybe, with the stag covering his hinds, but he's still a little small. Now we are wanting something bigger, but I really love seeing this, and it just gets my adrenaline going as soon as you see a stag and deer out in the field. So Paul's just saying it's still quite young stag. We're going to hold off if we can, I think. Paul wants bigger. And so do I. But it's pretty cool. It's starting to liven up now, so we still got a couple days and we'll make a decision at some point. We start having to think and make a decision on what we're going to do. Now we've been watching both groups of deer for a long time now, and the night is coming in. The problem is we have not seen the big old stag we want, so we hunker down and we sneak out to this rock to get a look at the big herd of reds sitting in the field below. We know there's a spiker down there, but we wanted something bigger, so we decided to give some calls and see if we can excite anything to come out of the woods. We call, and nothing comes out. Even the females are just like, what is going on? We'd rather just feed. But do you know what? This has been just an incredible experience doing this sort of stalking in small ground, lots of deer, huge hedgerows, lots of green grass, and you just never know if that big old 12 pointer is just going to step around the corner and you're just going to have to think fast, take the shot, and try not get mauled by a big red stag. But it was absolutely amazing being out here. I can't thank Paul enough for taking me out. Just being in this countryside, seeing the nature, seeing this lovely little fox here. Now, usually I'd shoot this guy for the land management, but I must admit it's so nice being in the moment, in the evening, and enjoying all of it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. Unfortunately, we didn't get the big stag we wanted, but there's plenty time next year, and this was such a good experience. So here's to next year, get back down here and back on the hunt. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.